It's time for Washington Fish Quest! This episode, Pacific Mackerel. Hey Washington Fish Questers, Blake here. Well, my buddy Tony and I are out here for just a one-night trip in CQ, and I hear that mackerel are in. Now they call them Pacific mackerel or jack mackerel out here. I'm just going to call them mackerel because it's the only mackerel we kind of have right in the strait here. But they've been in pretty thick, and my buddy Hugh's buddy Alex tells me if you kick it up to 4 miles an hour, troll down at 50 to 60 feet, I should be able to find them. So I'm hoping to catch my first ever mackerel out here at CQ, and this is filmed early October. Oh, that one that way.
Yes.
Just there we go. Yeah!
Yeah, baby.
All I had to do was sit in my banana wheel. I keep putting my thumb on this, right? So I'm glad I did replace those hooks, so it's 25 round test. That's not a salmon.
No, it's a mackerel.
Oh, heck yeah. That is a huge mackerel.
Yeah, it is.
Holy smokes. Holy smokes. Oof. Apparently got nice spines. Look at that. Look at that mackerel. Yeah, there you go. So I am going to keep this, and I am going to, I've never caught one. First one I've ever caught. I am going to go flay it up, and we'll see back at home. You know, I'm going to try to cook it, and then I hear from my buddy Hugh's buddy Alex that they are a 10 out of 10 Flavor Town smokes. So we'll see. We will see. But look at that fish. Wow. I am very surprised. Well, one thing for sure about the mackerels, they have a spine or two on them, because that's where they got me. All right, here we go. 2 mackerel, and I spaced in between 2 videos, and I look forward to getting these back and just trying a couple different cooking methods, you know? Hey, Blake back in the kitchen here. Unfortunately, my camera died when I went to clean those mackerel, and right when it did, the gentleman in the cleaning table next to me, he showed me how to clean them because he'd caught in a few, and I'm going to try to walk you through it just with a picture of the mackerel here. So it's not quite like quartering a tuna, but I have seen this method used on lots of fish. So you want to first make an incision right behind those pectoral fins, and you want to kind of slice your knife slanted up diagonally to get as much meat as you can. And then after that, you're going to want to start running your fillet knife, a very flexible fillet knife preferably, right up on the dorsal fin. So, you know, right up on the dorsal fin, and you're pulling up the fillet as you go, putting it in that dorsal fin basically, you know, 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch each kind of pass through, and it kind of just peels off of the rib cage. And then right in the middle of the fish, I'm not sure, it's the spine, I guess. It kind of flares up, like right behind the gill plate. So if you just went to do your standard fillet where you slice down, it would not get all the meat. You'd miss like a bunch of meat in the front. So that's why you're peeling it off like that. Hopefully that's a little helpful. So right here I have both of the fillets. So you can see I need to clean them up. So this is a fillet from each mackerel. We caught 2. So Tony took 2 and I took 2, and we just took a fillet off of each fish, you know. So I need to clean those up, get those blood lines that are going down the middle there, those darker areas off of there. All right, there we go. So those are cleaned up. And I'm going to do here 4 things. Yeah, 4 at least. So one of these is going to get smoked. My buddy Hugh has a buddy named Alex, and he described the smoked mackerel as 10 out of 10 Flavor Town. Now that sounds pretty good to me, so I'm going to smoke one whole fillet. Now with the other fillet, I just want to see if it tastes good. So the 3 things I'm going to do are I'm just going to first fry up a piece, just nothing but mackerel and a little oil or butter. That's it, no seasoning at all. And then I'll do a piece with maybe a little garlic and pepper, if that first piece was palatable. And then third, I'll actually figure out some kind of recipe. Either I'll deep fry it, or I'll do something a little fancier. But you know, I'll try to find like a way to cook it that's not just throwing it in the pan. Now, I guess I should have led with, I have had people tell me these are trash fish, that they just throw them back, they don't eat them, or they slice them for crab bait. And I've had people, when I was cleaning them, tell me they're excellent, like top-rate table fare. You know, I hear they do taste very fishy. They don't smell like anything, so that's interesting to me. They don't have like a fishy smell. I'm sure they're oily as heck, you know. But so I'm really looking forward to this. So first, let's make the brine for the smoke. We're gonna start with 1 quart water, about 2 cups packed brown sugar. I'm gonna go about 3/4 cup non-iodized salt. Been using less salt in my brines recently and more sugar. Keep in mind the fish can only absorb so much brine, so it's not like you're getting like an ultra sweet fish, but it does give it a nice taste. And I'm gonna finish with about 1/8 of a cup of soy sauce, that is. And mixy mixy. Alright, this brine's ready to go. If it seems like a lot for just one mackerel fillet, I'm also going to do a load of coho spines. However, I'm going to soak them in different containers. In addition to that, I think I will go ahead and smoke those bloodlines. You know, some people really like the bloodlines. If you like a really fishy flavor, people like bloodlines on tuna and mackerel. I don't know. We'll see what I think. But so I'm going to put this into 3 different containers of different sizes for those coho spines, the mackerel, and those bloodlines. And I'm going to soak them overnight. Here's those bloodlines. I know it doesn't look too appetizing, but fun little experiment. Now these smell fishy. The rest of the fillet kind of smells like nothing, but the bloodlines, oof, they smell like mackerel, you know? Kind of what you'd think of if you're eating mackerel from the can. Alright, here goes the mackerel. I cut them into pieces about this size. Didn't clean them up too much since they're just smoking. Looking forward to trying this. And here's those coho spines. So, you know, this is the carcass of the coho once you take the fillets off. You know, when I see people throwing over these C-cube, you know, look at the cherry meat on those cohos, you know. And when I see them throwing them off the cleaning stations, I'm tempted to dive in, if that water wasn't so dang gross. But, you know, I get every piece of meat off of the fish besides the guts and the gills, you know. Just because it's touch and bone don't mean it's any worse, you know. To me, that'd be... And look at this. Here's a piece of belly meat, actually, too. I love smoking the bellies. Oh, yeah, it's going to be great. Alright, I'm going to let these 3 fellers soak overnight. Alright, got my cast iron heating up. I know it looks super oily, but I just put a little canola oil in there and it's heating up. Alright, that pan is ready to go. I've got 2 pieces of the mackerel here. On my left, nothing but mackerel, baby. I'm just going to taste that just to get the flavor of the fish, you know, see if I can detect its general essence, I guess, the undertones, you know, so I can determine how to flavor it better in the future. On my right is, you know, assuming that the piece on the left is palatable, on the right, I got salt, pepper, and some garlic pepper on that one. So I'm just going to put it in the pan here. Oh, that sounds good. It really smells fantastic. It smells great. Like, this is a very, very nice aroma. Again, I keep hearing they're fishy, but most fishy fish I eat, you know, where you're like, whoa, that's fishy, they have an odor to them. And these, they're just frying up, and they smell great. And but yeah, nothing like a super pungent fishy odor. I'm not exactly sure how long I'm going to cook them. Let's say 2 minutes each side. That'll probably leave them a little spongy in the middle, but crispy on the outside. That's been 2 minutes. See if I can flip this one-handed here, because I'm on the camera. There we go. There we go. I might just do this side for 1.5 minutes, I think. That was way more cooking than I thought. In case you're wondering about my son's favorite food these days, we make it in bulk. Put it in the fridge. Alright, there we go. So first thing I'm going to try is, this is a piece of it that has no seasoning whatsoever. This is just pure mackerel with a little bit of oil. That beeping means it tastes great. It's a very mild fish. That is not what I was expecting. People tell me it has this pungency to it. Let me try this piece that's a little raw. You know, this will have this, like I say, has kind of a gooey center still. That's even better. Mackerel's great. People who are down in it, I just don't get it. I do not get it. That's super good. This has never been frozen, mind you. Nothing like canned mackerel. Maybe that's what people think is bad. Oh, that's really good. I tell you, I don't know if I'm going to deep fry this because it, whatever I do for my other recipe, because this is really good. And it has a very delicate flavor profile. It is not pungent with those bloodlines out of it. Wow, I am kind of blown away here. So I'm going to go ahead and have the piece that, is seasoned now. So I'm kind of at a loss for words. This is excellent. This is excellent. This is excellent. It's like, that's the way I'll tell you. It's like a combination between perhaps albacore and rockfish, if that makes sense. It's got, it doesn't quite have that tuna vibe to it, that taste to it. It doesn't taste like a herring, which I was thinking it was gonna. But this is excellent. The next time I am at CQ and the mackerel are in, I am targeting them hard. Huh. I can't believe it. Wow. That is so freaking good. Well, I'm just going to fry some more up and eat it off camera. It's getting late, so it's almost 11 o'clock, and I got a full day of work tomorrow. So actually, I'm going to, whatever I do to fancy it up, I'm actually making some of the coho from the trip for my family for dinner tomorrow. So I'll make the mackerel then as well. So I'll think on that overnight. But this was excellent. I can't believe it. People just like using it for crab bait are completely wasting it. I mean, do what you want with the fish you catch, but please try it if you haven't. For the purposes of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and smoke up the mackerel opposed to those salmon spines because I want this to go a little quicker. So I'll put these thicker ones on the bottom rack, these ones including the bloodlines on the second to the bottom rack, see how it goes. I actually forgot I was drying these all day, so these are like really dry. You put your things in the brine, then you let them dry. So these have been in the cool garage for, geez, 10, 12 hours. Totally smell fine though. There must have been enough salt that the bacteria can survive on them. So at any rate, all right, let's put them on in here. I got hickory smoke, or I got hickory chips, I should say, in the smoker. There we go. As you can see, I'm not very scientific with my smoking. This is just a big chief. You don't know the temperature and stuff unless you actually put a gauge in there. So while that starts smoking, I wanted to talk a little more about actually fishing for them. So I don't know much, but there are some more videos popping up out there because they're being caught all over. So Tony, the gentleman I was fishing with, he caught some out of Nia Bay jigging for, he was just throwing jigs for salmon because they were on the surface and one hit it. Brett from Peeling Line has a video out where he catches the IGF world record, or these Pacific Jack mackerel. So I'll put a link to that in this video description, so go check that out if you want more mackerel action. And my buddy Hugh's buddy Alex said trolling for him, he was going up around 4 miles an hour. So we were trolling pretty fast, just so you know. On that Boston Whaler, Tony can only get it down, usually, depending on how the tide's going, but to like 3.3 miles an hour, A lot of time when I troll for coho, I'm more at like 2.6 at the lowest, but usually more like 2.8. Then I thrust up to about that speed, about 3.5. But we were trolling like 3.3 to probably sometimes about 4. And, that could be why we got some and other people's didn't. And like I said, I'll absolutely target them next time. So that's about all I know for now, but they seem to be very coho-like in that they like to move fast, if not faster, and they like to kind of hit whatever. They're very opportunistic. So while these smoke, I'm going to go knock off that last recipe that I mentioned I was going to do. Why didn't you guys warn me? It was so dang good pan-fried, it's hard for me to even want to try another recipe. I can't remember if I said I was going to do one or two. I'm just going to try this one, so I'm going to try to bake it. So Megan, who's Tony's husband, my buddy Megan, she made it in the oven at 425, and she put olive oil on it and salt and pepper and cherry tomatoes and olives. I don't have cherry tomatoes or olives, so I'm going to use, I have part of a tomato left over from the garden and an onion as well. So I'm going to dice those up, but before I do that, I am going to put some salt, pepper, and garlic powder, if you notice the theme of my cooking, lots of garlic, over the fish. I'm going to put some oil over that, then I'm going to put those tomatoes and onions on it, and then I'm going to put some olive oil over that, and I'm going to plop it in the oven. I'm probably going to cook it for more like 12 minutes. I'll check it at 10 to 12 minutes at 425. I did just go with 10. It was so good with that dark crust on the pan, that was why I thought about doing it for longer. It looks pretty good. Let's see. All right, time to burn my face off. That's very good. I'd eat that any day. That said, I really like it pan fried. I like it with a really, like, kind of like a crispier skin to it. So that was really good. I will finish that, obviously, and enjoy it greatly. But I really liked it just on the pan with salt and pepper and some garlic on some oil. It was great. So that's good. On the pan, it's dang near 10 out of 10. In the oven, I'd give it more like maybe a 7. So yeah, it was. It's a really tasty fish, though. Oh no! I gotta get out of here. Woo! Well, I'll chuck on that smoked fish in the morning. It's gonna be in there for 6 hours and 3 pans of chips. Well, alright, I survived the night this time. You'll have to excuse me, I did come down with something last night, probably a curse. But we'll end up the video here with me trying this smoked mackerel. Ugh. Ooh, I might have overdone it. Let's take these pieces here. Now, because I'm not feeling so hot, I'm actually not going to try those bloodlines right now. I assume they're going to be pretty bad. I'll post a follow-up about those. But, yeah, we'll just try a piece of the... It looks really good. Looks super good. Oh, that's fine. That's not overdone. One thing I should note about this before I take my first bite is it did absorb brine a lot better than the coho. So I think there's kind of a, I don't know if sponginess is the right term. Perhaps a permeability to the flesh. So it absorbs brine a lot, and we'll see if I made a grievous error by doing 3 pans of chips instead of just 2 if I put too much smoke on it. I would say it's as good as smoked salmon. It's really good. Of course, can't taste so hot right now. but yeah, it's great stuff. I personally, like I said, though, for me it was a 10 out of 10. Just putting it on the pan with some salt, pepper, and garlic salt on a little oil. But don't get me wrong, this is great. This is like a smoked king in my book. This is a very high quality smoked fish. So, there we go. Next time that Jack Mackerel are out there in CQ, and I've also heard of them being caught off of the jetty at Westport some seasons. But at any rate, they'll probably be up here more with the El Nino years coming up. So, I am going to target the heck out of them. And they are a very good eating fish. Anybody who disagrees, I'd love to, feel free to catch me in the mints. I'd love to, I don't know, yell at each other about it. So, thank you so much. See you next time on Washington Fish Quest.